Chromebooks. They are constantly in the news now. You see more and more rolling out. And as people continue working from home due to the COVID-19 pandemic and kids kind of going back and forth from being in school versus learning at home, Chromebooks have really seemed to kind of be the option for everyone. I'm Beth Motter here with Adrian Kingsley Hughes. Adrian, you have gathered what you consider some of the best Chromebooks that are on the market today. Tell me what your favorite features are. Tell me why you like them. Tell me everything about them.
Okay, well, at the top of the list is the Google Pixel Go Chromebook. There's something about Google hardware making its own hardware for its own operating system. It's not the best, it's not the cheapest, and it doesn't fall into any of those categories where you kind of go, ooh, that looks nice. But it's a solid, reliable, hardworking machine that basically it's going to be supported by Google for a while and just delivers what you want. It's 13-inch screen, it's in that sweet spot, Intel processor, dual camera, nice long battery life. So that one has to be on the list. Then there's the Samsung Galaxy Chromebook. Everybody loves Samsung hardware, and this one stands out partly because it's got a 4K display on it, and the 4K display is great for people who really just want those pixel real estate to put stuff up on. That is probably its most standout feature, the display. If you're looking at a screen for a long time and you're used to maybe high-end Windows or Macs, this will not feel like you're looking at a budget piece of kit. And the price it's not that expensive at around $250, $300. It's quite a cheap system. Then we have the ASUS Chromebook Flip C436. This one is one I would say is ideally suited for work from home people. It's powerful. You've got a 14-inch display on it. The keyboard's nice. It comes with 512 gigabytes of storage as the base option. And you've got 12 hours of battery life, which I think in terms of putting in the work over a day, 12-hour battery life nowadays is pretty much the standard, especially as we're working from home a lot more. Then I've got the Dell Chromebook 3100 Student Education Edition. Now, this one's great for kids that throw stuff, drop stuff, spill milk and soda into things. But I've included this here as well because I think it's great for those maybe engineers, mechanics, people doing outdoor stuff, where they want something a little bit more ruggedized, but they don't want something along the lines of the Panasonic Toughbook. This one will take drops, it'll take being kicked, it'll take having a toolbox thrown on top of it. So it's a great Chromebook for somebody who wants the simplicity of Chrome, but a robustness of something that otherwise they'd have to go to a high-end laptop for. Then we've got the Lenovo Chromebook Duet. Now, this one's on the list primarily because it's cheap. It's about $240. It looks nice. It feels a little bit to me like using an iPad with a decent third-party keyboard on it. It's pretty middle of the road in everything that you're getting for that. You're getting a 10-inch display, which is small but adequate for most, depending on what you're doing. You're getting 4 gigs of RAM, not much. You're getting 64 gigs of storage, again, not much. But you've got 10 hours of battery life, and it comes with this optional pen. And the pen, when I used it, was like, I kind of like this pen, even though the rest of it felt sort of budget, and I was like wishing it was an iPad Pro. I like the pen. So it's on there because of the pen, because I know some people like the precision of that pen because their fingers are, it's a big thing compared to the tip of a pen.
The pens are nice. To really pinpoint what you want, they're nice regardless of your finger size. Adrian, so for anybody watching, what's kind of that difference between the Chromebooks versus, say, your regular Mac or Windows device?
Well, I think the gap is getting smaller. It's interesting. We've had high-end Chromebooks for a few years now, and people were questioning, why do we want high-end Chromebooks when Chrome OS didn't really seem to leverage that. For enterprise users now, they've got the option of using Parallels Desktop for Chromebook, so that you can bring Windows onto your Chromebook. It's an amazing achievement. Basically, they've been allowed to install software on Chrome OS, which you can't do otherwise. So this has sort of opened them out for the enterprise market a lot more. You've also got just the idea that they're pretty cheap compared to a MacBook. I mean, I wouldn't, I run a MacBook Pro. There's places I don't want to take it. I take a Chromebook. I happily take a Chromebook instead. It's also the idea now of that closeness to the Android operating system that people like. I think if you're an iPhone user, you've got the iPad. If you're an Android user, you've got the Chromebook. And I think that the synergy between those environments has actually helped Chromebooks a lot. And then there's just this idea that you don't really have to fuss with it. You don't really worry about viruses. You don't really worry about somebody trying to kind of do anything bad with it. If it breaks, you download stuff back onto it from Google, it just works. It's very simple, very low drag. The total cost of ownership over it is low, especially compared to high-end Windows systems. Now, I've seen some people say Macs are cheaper. I wouldn't like to put Macs in a school environment. So yeah, it's got some great benefits to it. The price, performance these days as well. The performance these days is amazing as well, considering compared to the older ones, the first few gens, they were slow and sluggish. Now you've got systems that really just feel as responsive as anything you could use.
Okay, well, that's really good to know. If anybody's interested in some of these different Chromebooks, we've got links down below. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more videos just like this. Thanks, Adrian Kingsley Hughes. And for all things tech and Chromebook, be sure to stick with ZDNet.